Hello guys. Welcome back to my Football Manager 2023 European Journeyman Save. It's episode number 53. We're in our second full season as the manager of SJK here in Finland, where we are looking to tick Finland off our list as soon as possible. We have reached the first game of the season, and the first game is against our fierce rivals in VPS. It is the Pohjanmaa derby versus VPS, so it is a derby. They're also a fierce rival, so we're hoping that we can tick the campaign off with a good win. We've had a very good start to the season. I have changed the tactic, and I'll quickly go over that. Now, it's not one I've created. I'm in a Facebook group, a Football Manager Facebook group, and there's a guy on there. He's got a YouTube channel himself. I'll leave a link to the video with the tactic, but he's called Frankly FM84. He has created this tactic, and I thought I'd give it a go. And it's done very well for us in the opening stages of the season in terms of the Finnish Cup. Now, this is not the lineup that we're going to go for today, but this is the tactic. It is a asymmetric tactic. It's a 4-1-2-2-1. It's a standard back four with support and wing backs. Sweep the keeper on support. We do have a defensive midfielder in there. We've also got two Mazzalas on attack, so we're very attacking the entire top half of the pitch, as it were, are attacking. So we've got two Mazzalas on attack in the centre midfield. We've got a shadow striker, and then the asymmetric bit comes into play. We've got an inside forward out there on the right hand side, with an advanced forward up top. And I'll just give you a quick rundown of how it's done overall for us in pre-season, the Cup, and against some of the big teams, or bigger teams in Europe, the likes of Shakhtar, Sundsvall from Sweden as well, Sturm Graz. We've had a draw with Sturm Graz, we've had a draw with Shakhtar. But in terms of the Cup, we've actually finished top of our group, and it was very encouraging. A 1-0 win over FC Hacker. Nothing too special there, but we did beat HJK 4-1, which was fantastic. We beat Yarrow 5-1, HIFK 3-2. So we're still conceding goals, which is obviously concerning. But we then beat FC Honka 2-0 as well, away from home. Now I know it's the Finnish Cup, but we did finish top of our group, having scored 15 goals, conceded 4. Now, if you remember last season in the league, conceding goals was one of the big issues that we had. So I'm hoping that we've addressed that for this season and we can push our way up the league. In terms of the media prediction for the league, we are still predicted to finish in 5th place. We're down to 26s now instead of 34s, which is what we were at. So we have closed the gap just a little bit. Honka are the favourites, but and HJK are second favourites. The fact that we've beaten both of those teams in the Cup does give me hope. The tactic does seem to be working very well. Obviously, we see VPS there, today's opponent there, at 601, so we are heavy favourites for this game, and it's a game that we should be winning. You may notice also that Kevin Arboleda is listed as the best goalkeeper in the league. He's not my starting goalkeeper anymore. He wouldn't sign a new contract at the end of last season, so he currently does not have a contract. He was opting to explore his options at the end of his contract. He is still here. He will sign a new one, but he wants to be a star player. He wants us to win the Premier League in 2040, and he also wants much more money than I'm willing to pay him. Basically, I'm at the end of my wage budget. I'm pretty close to it, and financially the club is struggling. Now it's offer him a contract and he stays, and I annoy him because he wants to be the star keeper at £900 a week, or I keep him here without a contract at £625 a week, and he just puts up with it. He doesn't actually have his actual playing time and his agreed playing time. Yes, they are, but he doesn't have a contract, so I'm not obliged to stick to them. The new goalkeeper who I've brought in is Alejandro Calazzo. He is a Uruguayan. He is a little bit younger. He is on 1.1k a week, but he's played extremely well for us in the Cup games. If we compare him to Arboleda, they're not too dissimilar. Calazzo is actually slightly better physically, and he's got more speed. He's better aerially. He's a little bit more eccentric, which is not good for a goalkeeper. Arbolida's better in distribution and communication, and he's slightly better mentally as well. But there's not too much to choose from them, and I'm quite impressed with Alejandro. He's done really, really well. We have had a few other players come in as well. If we have a look at the transfer history, there's been some players go out. Starting at the end of last season, we have loaned out some players. We've loaned Lukungu Shibuwawa. He has gone out on loan to TPV. He is a very, very hot prospect at the club in the centre of midfield, so I'm hoping he can go out and get some match experience. There's also Dumbia, another one who's got a lot of potential at centre-half, has gone out on loan as well, has the young Senegalese man. Maybe should have kept him here because he's pretty good, but he's at TPS, so hopefully he can get some experience as well. Namil has gone on loan. He's a backup sort of player, but we've had a few of the peripheral players of the squad have gone out. In terms of the ins, the one player that came in at the end of last season was Jordan Milne. He is an Englishman. He is a centre midfield. He's an advanced playmaker, or a mezzala, which is just so happens to be what the new system uses. He is very, very good, formerly of Leicester City. Some very good attributes for that position, and he's actually listed as the best centre midfielder at the club now, and he's had a fantastic start to life here as well, with an average rating of 7.82 across the 4 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. So I'm very, very pleased to bring Jordan in. Next player through the door was Danny Nash. He is a Welshman, formerly of Melbourne Victory, but started his career at Man United, has been at Arsenal as well. Now, originally, I brought him in for the old tactic as an inside forward on the left-hand side, although he hasn't got a right foot. But in the new tactic, I'm training him to be an attacking, the shadow striker. If we have a quick look at his attributes for a shadow striker, if I can get it to do it, he, again, is very, very good in that position. The two things that let him down are his concentration and his finishing, but you can also see by his record there in the Finnish Cup, in his 4 games, he scored 3 goals and got 3 assists. So he's done very, very well, the 27-year-old, and look at his crazy, crazy value. 5.8 to 7 million. We got him for free. So looking forward to see what Danny can do through the season. He is on a fairly high wage, but he's a very, very good player. Marcus Sarlo came in on a free transfer, very much a backup striker, is the 21-year-old, and also to get some of these homegrown nation players. We've had a lot of homegrown players leave, and to meet the squad rules, obviously I need them. Colazzo, we've already spoken about. Harry Rahala is another homegrown in nation player signed from Klubi 04 or HJK. I believe he was on loan at Klubi, so we've signed him from HJK. Again, good midfielder, good rotation option for us. Very, very good as a mezzala. Not done too badly in the cup. Obviously, could have been better. But again, he's another player who we have signed on a free transfer. So looking forward to see what he can do. Mikko Helenius is coming from AC Ula, another homegrown nation player. He's a centre-half, pretty much a backup centre-half. He's only on £600 a week, which is not too bad. Now, we do play with ball-playing defenders in our new system, and he's more than capable of playing there if Oskanen or Barrios do pick up any kind of injury. Hugo, because he's Portuguese, Nunez is the new inside forward on that right-hand side. He's got a reasonable left foot. He is inconsistent, and he has had a little bit of a poor start to life in Finland, but he was injured when he first came in. He's on less than £1,000 a week, and we only paid $21,000 for him from Gil Vicente. So excited to see what Hugo can do if he can hit the ground in the league, get some good performances behind him. And then finally in was a new left back. Now we do have, it's not going to show me on here, but we do have, what was the left back's name from last season? Murray Darling. We do have Murray Darling. Now Murray Darling is more than capable of playing that left back, and we will likely see the two players rotate throughout the season. You can see that they are very, very similar. Abdullah's slightly better in some areas. Willie is slightly better in other areas. So Abdullah's in, or Abdullah High is in. He's coming from Engu Rangers in, I believe, Nigeria. Yeah, he's cost us £80,000, but it's another good option for us to have at left back. So that's the quick run through. Financially, we're in ruins, as you can see. I did get it down to about £600,000 or £700,000 of debt. I sold a clause for quite a fair bit of money. We are under the wage budget. The scouting budget's already gone this season. Transfer budget, we've spent some of it, but we are heavily in debt. And we do have a projection to be even further in debt. Now, we did have about £1 million coming in sponsorship at the start of the season, which is really good. So we do have that to come at the start of next season if we're still here. Hopefully we're not. Hopefully we can tick Finland off. The debt is a little bit concerning though. It's probably at the stage where it's going to start affecting our managing finances. We're at 100% right now, and technically we are managing the finances because we're under the wage budget. We'll just have to see how it goes. Team discipline's gone down a little bit. We've had a couple of unhappy players. Reputation has gone down again by 5%. We were at 60. We've been at 65 at one stage. But the fact that in the last couple of seasons we've only won one award is probably not helping. Spartak's didn't. Again, we're in the top 3, so we have done decent over in Latvia there. For Spartak's, they are consistently getting in that top 3 now across the last 3 seasons. But anyway, let's get into today's game, guys. Let's pick a starting lineup for the first game of the season. I think back 4-wise, we're nowhere near. The last game was a friendly, so we've got a heavily rotated team. In fact, the best way that I'm going to do it, because this will save me a bit of time, is I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make my changes to it. Now, Penna, who I signed last season as the inside forward on the right-hand side, can actually play as a wing-back on support, and he's very good in that position. So he is likely going to start there for us this season, is the 27-year-old Italian. Tang Young, again, we signed him as a right-back, but he is a very good defensive midfielder, which is great. Milner, he's actually picked up an injury, unfortunately. He's out for 3 to 7 weeks. So he's unable to start, but we do have Hernandez who can play there. In here, we're going to have Nash. Where is Nash? Why can't I find Nash? There he is, Danny Nash. So Danny Nash is going to go in there. Egal is not going to play there. It's going to be Hugo Nunez. And then up top, I prefer Leo Johansson to Coimbra, believe it or not. So that is pretty much the starting lineup for this season. Obviously, we'll see how it goes. It could make some changes. I do have to get the homegrown players in as well, though. So we've only got we've got the 4 in the starting lineup we need. I think we need 9 overall. So these 2 places on the bench are going to have to go to homegrown players. We do have Koistinen who can still play. So we'll just have a quick check. Are we meeting the requirements? We are. So we're still okay in terms of homegrownness. This is the lineup that we're going to go with for today. It's going to be Mari Darlin, Barrios, Oksanen and Pena as the back 4. Tang Young as the defensive midfield. Hernandez, Rahula as the 2 Metzalas. Nash, who is slowly learning this position. Shadow striker. Nunez on the right-hand side with Johansson up top. I didn't change the goalkeeper, though. I want Colazzo in goal as opposed to Arboleda. Right then, guys, let's get into the game. Obviously, our derby, our local rival, fierce rivals. Hopefully, we can pick up a good result. As Kempinen does have the first highlight for VPS. It's a deep free kick towards that back post. Ailton's going to bring it down, and we've conceded inside the 2nd minute, which is a fantastic start to the season. I've bigged us up during the little cup run that we've had, unbeaten, not conceding too many goals, and the league starts and we've conceded in the 2nd minute because we couldn't deal with a free kick, and Ailton caused us problems last season, but Canerva has hammered it past Colazzo in goal. And they come forward again with Kempinen, another deep free kick, and they've gone 2-0 up. It's Tite. Inside the 5th minute, we're 2-0 down inside of 5 minutes. This is a fantastic start to the season. Totally unexpected. After the way that we've played in the cup and the way that the tactics been working, the way the squad have been working, we're 2-0 down inside of 5 minutes. Well, that's embarrassing, isn't it? That's really embarrassing. I'm going to have a shout at them, and I'm going to demand more from them. This is a shocking start. We are, as you can see by the shot counter at the top, starting to get back into the game. And here we come with Pena and Hernandez. Penna getting the ball back into the box. Johansson gets his head on the ball, but it has gone over the bar. We really need to get back into this game. This has been a really, really poor start to the game. Right, and we've reached the half-time whistle. You can see that we have been the better team in terms of shots on target, possession-wise. We have been the better team. But we do find ourselves 2-0 down at the break to a team who we should be beating. I know with derbies it's completely different as to who wins and stuff like that. It's a different kind of game. But we should be beating VPS quite comfortably, and hopefully we can turn the game around in the second half as Penna brings the ball forward on the right-hand side. He's got Nunez ahead of him. Nunez tries to pull it back, but Tite gets there, cuts it out. Ball's back with Penna. Driving inside. He's got a good left foot. Remember, he has the effort from range. It's a wasteful effort, though. Maybe should have looked to pick a teammate out, but it's an encouraging start to the second half. And here we come again with Aksanen to Barrios, the club captain. Now, Murray Darling on the left-hand side finds Rahola forward towards Nash, feeds the ball forwards. Hernandez stopped his run, and it's easily cut out. And Katola just clears the ball long, looking for Kempinen, but Oksaken does win it. Now Mitchell feeding Kempinen again. Kempinen tries the lob from the edge of the area. Marco Kempinen with a fantastic finish there for VPS, and this has been a really, really bad start to the season for us. We're embarrassing. It's a great finish. Mitchell with the ball forward. Kempinen, just absolutely audacious lob. Nothing Colazzo could do about that. We've got some poor performing players. And with 3-0 down, we're not even 50 minutes in. We can still do this, though. I have faith as Penna brings the ball forward on the right hand side. Beg your pardon. It turns back, finds Oksanen. Has he got anybody ahead of him? He's got Barrios. Finds Rahola. Rahola looking over the top towards Hernandez. Johansson brings it down. He's been given offside. He's been given offside. I thought we'd got one back straight away. Who was the man offside? It was from the header, forward by Hernandez. Johansson correctly rolled out there for offside, but that's a little bit of encouragement. I am going to make some changes early on in the second half. We've got some poor performers on the pitch. I can't take Johansson off, though, because I've got to have four. A little bit of thinking needs doing here. Let's bring Tang Yung off for Egal. I believe Egal is homegrown. He is. So that now means that I can bring Johansson off for Coimbra. And Nunez has not had the best of games. So we're going to bring Miro Koistinen on as well. We'll make that triple change. We're also going to have a shout at the lads. We're going to try and G them up. Try and get something from this game. A point after going 3-0 down. Oksanen finds Murray Darling. Drives forward. He needs some support, though, on this left-hand side. Instead, he's forced into a tame effort from distance, which was easily for the goalkeeper. I can't believe how much we're struggling in this game. We've got 20 minutes remaining, and we don't look like scoring. That's good challenge there by Barrios, though. He's got Penna again. Penna in towards Koistinen. He's inside the area, cuts back, finds Penna again. Can he get the ball across on his favoured left foot? He's forced backwards, though. He's still going. Penna with another poor effort from outside the area. These big teams must play their reserves in the cup, and it's flattered us. It's absolutely flattered us. This is a shocking performance as we're into the final 5 minutes now. And VPS could make it 4 here. The deep free kick from Ailton, and Kempinen is the one who gets his head on it. Thankfully, he hasn't made it 4. It still could, though. Ailton from the edge of the area towards that back post. Tite gets there this time. But again, it's gone over the bar. And I'm angry. I'm angry after that performance. We need to be pushing for the title this season, and the boys have just not turned up for this game after such a good performance in the Finnish Cup. We find ourselves on the end of a drubbing on the first day of the season, and it's absolutely shocking. Mallory Darling's even managed to get a pay rise after that. That was poor. That was really, really poor. and that's that's given us a lot of work to do already. We've got Ilves and Honka coming up, champions 2 out of the last 3 years. Those two, Coops last year's champions. So we've got a difficult run coming up. I believe the next game is going to be around about here though. Maybe HJK, or we could go for the revenge against VPS. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But after this hugely disappointing performance, I've got some work to do. The tactic, I think, is right. It has worked in the cup, and I'm going to stick with it. We just didn't show up, and Colazzo's had a 6.1 there. Maybe I need to rethink the goalkeeper. But guys, thank you for watching. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully I can turn this season around. I don't want to get hung up in one nation for too long, as you already know. But yeah, guys, if you've enjoyed what you've seen, if you enjoyed watching me getting absolutely hammered, then please leave a like on the video. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed and you are enjoying what you've seen. It does help me out. I mentioned the other day that we were getting close to that 100. We've now surpassed the 100. We're at 105 at the time of recording this, which is fantastic for me. Long may it continue the growth that I'm seeing. So thank you very much for that support, guys. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Cheers, guys.